as as a Sean McDermott detractor, and I'm not hiding from it. Before I say what I'm about to say, I'm not going to hide from the fact that my position, since I would say the first time I ever verbalized that I thought this should be a possibility was at the end of the 2022 season, when we had that bad playoff loss to Cincinnati. And then I would say I was certain by 2023 that this team needed new leadership. Mainly because I felt that there just weren't enough answers offensively in the scheme and in the personnel, which I'll get to later, which I don't believe has something to do with Sean McDermott. But don't worry, this will all reach a place where it all makes sense. There were not enough answers schematically, in my opinion, for Allen, particularly after Daboll left as offensive coordinator. And there was just simply too much of the same patterns. Strong September start, mid-season swoon, late push, divisional round or championship, either complete letdown or unraveling, which I would call the Denver Bronco game an unraveling. There's not a single universe where Buffalo should lose that game. I mean, there just isn't, and not all, and I didn't even, I'll be honest, I didn't come away from that Denver game saying this was McDermott's fault. I didn't find myself screaming at the TV, this is why McDermott sucks. I'll be honest, I didn't really, that wasn't my takeaway. When amongst all the emotions that I felt after that, and they were all strong, not once, McDermott didn't really come to mind. And I've, again, been a detractor, not hiding from it. This was not the right time to do this, in my opinion. I had already fully accepted and been fine with the fact that McDermott was going to be back next year and that no one was going to get fired. I didn't believe so anyways. Clearly I was wrong, and there's so many things about this that bother me. For one, the 2023 season was when I was firmly in the category of it is time to move on from Sean McDermott. There are better options available at this time that I believe get us over the hump than what Sean McDermott is. Because Sean McDermott's a good coach. By all metrics, a good coach. He's like Marty Schottenheimer. He's a good coach. He's someone who's going to keep you in the running. And I think at the very least, that's what we needed to happen. We needed to be in the running. I think that's important. Now you're in, rather than having all these options available, which there were options available before the playoffs started. There were some moves made. And I think now that you've done this, the options that were available are no longer available at this time. Which is why I think that it would have been the best move to just move ahead next season and scale the landscape. Because really, what was the risk with keeping McDermott? that we're just here again next year in the same place, who is the master guy that you're bringing in now that's going to be better? Because that's been my position this whole time. You need to find somebody that is an innovative offensive mind. Who is that guy? Are you going to tell me that that's McDaniel? You're going to tell me McDaniel's the guy? Are you going to tell me that Dable's the guy? Are you going to bring him in, even though he's a retread head coach? Are you going to bring in, if they promote Brady, I'll jump through my television. I don't know who it is. I don't know who that's going to be. So that's why I felt that at this point of the season, it hadn't even crossed my mind that this would happen, because at this point I really just didn't feel it was necessary at the time. So I didn't even entertain it in my mind. And now I was stunned. And then the other thing that really bothers me about this, Brandon Beane is now head of football operations. Why? What did he do that proved that not only should Sean McDermott go, but Brandon Beane should now be head of football operations? What transpired this season that made you think that should happen? And then that really is when that swirls around in my head for me, that's really what has me feeling a lot of discomfort now about this move. This guy who constructed the roster that Sean McDermott had to coach is not only given a free pass, but has now been promoted. I don't have an answer for that. I mean, the only thing I can think of is that he gets a lot of runway because of the fact that Allen was a draft pick that he made and that it worked out. You know, and he's had some good draft picks. You know, Ed Oliver was a good draft pick, obviously. I can't think of all the guys off the top of my head right now. I didn't prepare before this, but there's some guys. Trey White, you know, we've got some guys that hit, that were good draft picks. But there's also been a ton of moves that he's made that make zero sense, especially as of late. As of late, the number of impressive draft picks from this guy and impressive roster moves and free agent decisions have been little to none. Josh Palmer, that one in particular for me is just so bad. So bad. Like underrated. Like people don't talk about that. That's bad. You giving him 3 years, $12 million a year? Like when he was out, I saw no difference. Like, oh, Josh Palmer's inactive. Oh, we're really gonna miss his one catch for 5 yards. Like who cares? It doesn't even register. Oh, whatever. I mean, I guess we're down some depth. And then the Keon Coleman draft pick is just bad. And you did a trade with Kansas City to give them, because not only did we already give them Patrick Mahomes by doing the trade with them in 2017, you then gave them Xavier Worthy, who's also been another key player for them. And, yeah, and then just some of the questionable moves on defense, paying these veteran guys, doing these win now restructures with aging veteran defensive players. Like, It just doesn't make any sense to me. And then you don't put any receiving talent on this team. You have a chance to with bringing in Jalen Waddle, which the only difference we were missing on that was that they wanted the pick to be this year. Bean wanted it to be next year. That's the only thing you were quarreling on? Seems rather arbitrary to me. But, I don't know. We'll see. They better get this right, because if they don't, it is going to look very, very bad, very, very reactionary. And depending on how Josh Allen took this news, could be very, very bad on that front. This could be... And the vibe feeling right now for me just is not good. I'm hoping that this instinct is wrong, but we'll see. We're just going to have to see how this unfolds. But we're going to have to hope they have a plan here.